Hi everyone, in this video we are going to talk about exchange information requirements, or simply AIR. BIM starts with the investor's responsibility, specifically project requirements definition, which includes certain BIM specifications known as the exchange information requirements. At this stage, the investor specifies what they want from the architect, structural engineer, etc., and what they want from the final product. The BIM execution plan, BAP, is created in response to the investor's requirements, defining how these requirements will be met. Finally, we have project delivery, which is the responsibility of the designer or contractor to deliver the final product. Now that we have covered the standards and specifications, we will explain how the process works from the standards to the BIM execution plan and BIM specifications. There are standards at both national and international levels. The international standard is ISO 19650. The national standard will come into play when each country adopts and implements it. This applies to both national and international levels and must be respected in public procurement and contractual agreements. Then we have guidelines and specifications that can be at the national level, defining various concepts and processes for the BIM methodology. We have BIM guides that can also be at the organizational level and specific to certain projects, detailing how something should be delivered, prepared, modeled, communicated, etc. And finally, we have BIM specifications, or BAP, which are exclusively at the project level. These specifications are the investor's requirements and the responses of the project stakeholders. So, should BIM support all processes and everything the investor requires? The answer is no. It is essential to consider the investor's requirements and how they can be implemented using BIM, as well as what the investor wants as the final product. Here are three examples of the investor's requirements. For example, an investor wants to review the estimated construction costs during the design phase. How does BIM facilitate this? By estimating expenses based on the model itself. When we model the environment in BIM, the automatic selection of units provides quantities, to which we add prices, thereby automatically generating all cost items. Any changes during discussions with the investor can be easily accommodated. As part of BIM delivery, you'll have a completed bill of quantities or simply a final price estimate, all made easier with the BIM. For example, if an investor requires planned maintenance and equipment replacement and intends to use BIM model for building maintenance and facility management, we would implement this through computer-aided facility management system. This involves detailed model development, including all certifications and necessary maintenance information. And how will you deliver this? Through the COBie format, as mentioned earlier. However, if the investor suggests managing tenants within a building using BIM, you might decide that using BIM for this purpose isn't practical. This might be an extreme request, but generally, if a request seems overly complex or challenging for today's market, it is important to assess whether it is feasible within current capabilities. When discussing the ISO 19650 procurement cycle, which involves communication between the investor, organization, and design office, the AIR plays a crucial role. From this AIR, you obtain the graph illustrating the triangle and the delivered information I showed you before. It also defines the project information models at various phases, and ultimately the asset information model for managing the building. The AIR specifies how these deliverables should be provided. Next, I'll explain precisely what BIM expects in the AIR, detailing what should be documented. It's essential to recognize that this document is foundational in the BIM process, defined before tendering to outline the required information, standards, and processes for project stakeholders. It serves as the primary guideline for investors embarking on a BIM project, and it is structured into three parts: technical, management, and business. In the technical part, common coordinates are defined along with the model structure, exchange formats, and levels of development and levels of information, the LOD or LOI. Here, the common data environment is specified. This is where the investor designates where they want all the information delivered. In some cases, investors may prefer specific software, though this is less common, as they typically prioritize the final product over software specifics. The management part addresses standards, particularly where ISO 19650 will be utilized, which is crucial for public projects. It also outlines stakeholders' roles and responsibilities. Who verifies the model, reports project issues to the investor, communicates, coordinates, checks for clashes, ensures compliance, and manages quality. The BIM manager, often working closely with the BIM coordinator, plays a central role in overseeing these aspects. Finally, the business part, extracted from contractual or legal frameworks, describes the project, contract type, goals for the client and project, BIM's role in the project, delivery sequence, overall construction site completion date, and deadlines for the specific construction phases. The model production delivery table defines which parts of the model are ordered. Regarding AIR, several questions are posed for each section. For instance, in the technical part, why implement BIM? Is cost analysis needed? Will it manage construction? Focus on visualization or clash detection. So the investor, along the BIM manager and project participants, assess how BIM will achieve its objectives based on these questions. One of the most crucial requirements for investors in BIM projects is BIM performance assessment. Not everyone can bid from BIM projects, especially in the public sector, without providing evidence. So, does your team possess the necessary skills? What projects have they previously undertaken? Do you have the required resources, including the necessary software? Do you have prior experience in this field? These questions must be answered with concrete evidence, such as the details of a specific project, certifications, relevant education, or software licenses. BIM performance assessment serves as a critical evidence of competency in BIM implementation. For example, certification according to ISO 19650 verifies that their workflows in project offices truly adhere to BIM standards. Clarifying what information and data are required marks the final stage of project delivery. Does the investor need all the information in Revit and IFC formats? Does he require a COBie format? Are blueprints needed in DVG or PDF? Should specifications and reports be in Word or PDF? These details highlight what is already known and applied within the project. However, these specifics are often not defined clearly at the project outset, contributing to existing challenges. With BIM, there is an emphasis on defining these aspects early, facilitating better project understanding and management throughout its life cycle. That's all for now, and see you in the final video next.